curious. You've called on, first of all, what did you make of Elon Musk in sunglasses wielding a chainsaw on the stage at CPAC this afternoon?
Well, Elizabeth, truth is stranger than fiction, nowhere more than Washington. And to see the pictures of Mr. Musk in the Oval Office and with the chainsaw, I mean, we have been become so accustomed to seeing things that would have shocked us just a matter of a few years ago that I think nothing surprises any of us anymore.
Do you think Democrats are overplaying this panic, the alarms we keep seeing, like, oh my God, Elon Musk is going to raid your Social Security. He's got your Social Security number and your phone number and your bank records. Is there any truth to any of their complaints?
Well, I'll tell you, Elizabeth, I think Democrats and Republicans should have been as passionate about identifying efficiencies in our federal government for the past number of decades as both sides are right now on this issue. Of course, Democrats opposing and Republicans very much in favor. And as you know well, I always see some nuance, and I think two things can be true at once. We do need to make our government more effective, more efficient, and reduce its cost. There is no incentive in the public sector to become more efficient, and I do think this is a rare opportunity to actually do so. But if it's going to be successful, it has to be legal. We have to be a nation of laws. Mr. Musk and Mr. Trump have to understand that. But it's also got to be transparent. And look, I support this. But even I am coming close to the same concern as many of my Democratic colleagues, because I do not have a clue what the strategy is, what is being targeted, why. And absent that, it's going to create a vacuum that will only cause this to become more complicated. And I do want to see it happen, Elizabeth. And that's the nuance that I wish Democrats would employ right now. It's sometimes better to join an effort with which you might disagree on some level, but then you actually generate credibility to play a role in keeping the things, protecting the things important, and actually finding better efficiencies in things that should afford them. And last thing I'll say is the Pentagon budget you referenced. We're spending more money on our national debt service, our interest, than we are now on our Pentagon budget. And our Pentagon budget is more than the next 8 nations in the world combined.
Ouch.
So I do find it interesting that Mr. Musk has not started at the single biggest source of waste. We're using 20th century strategies to try to protect ourselves in a 21st century world. That's where the biggest savings will be found. It's also, as you just referenced, going to be the most contentious when Democrats and Republicans have to tell their constituents that the pork is being cut off.
You say we need more transparency. I don't understand. You know, Elon Musk throws up these numbers, says, I've just cut, well, in total, $55 billion. But he's not telling anybody or showing anybody the receipts on any of that. I don't understand. If you know you've saved taxpayers that much money, and that's a great thing, even though it's chump change compared to the overall money being spent, but just show it. If you identify it, certainly you can show it, right?
Exactly. And by the way, I'm raising my hand. I'd love to be an advocate to demonstrate what's possible if we have talented people identifying efficiencies. I do think we should be paying more respect to federal employees who have dedicated their lives to all of us. I think they're being mistreated. And look, Mr. Musk can do whatever the heck he wants at businesses that he started, especially a private business. But this is not a private business, Elizabeth. This is the United States government. We are all stakeholders and shareholders in this. And yes, show the beef, if you will. We'd love to know how, where, what is to be expected. But I will say one last thing. Congress really doesn't have a lot of leg to stand on right now, because this has been going on for decades, and there is absolute truth to President Trump's perspective that you can't entrust Congress to do this because they've had ample chance. They never will.
Yeah.
And I think I'm afraid that sometimes we're going to have to face a bull in a china shop. The key is that we have enough Democrats and Republicans in the Congress so that when we do see things that are either illegal, inappropriate, or downright disadvantageous to the United States, that we still have enough courage left in Congress to call it out.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.